What's up, mi gente? Are you looking for mentorship and the place to secure the big bag? Have you ever watched me here on the Banking on Cultura podcast and thought to yourself, you know what? I want to work with Victoria Jenn. Or maybe you thought to yourself, I want to be a part of her network of badass women and entrepreneurs. Well, guess what? You absolutely can. Join me this November 15th through the 16th in the heart of New York City for my 7th annual Secure the Big Bag and Wellness Summit. Let's face it, so many of us are tired, burnt out, ready to throw in the towel, honey, and quite frankly, we want to dedicate ourselves to the soft life. But what if there was a way for us to achieve both time and financial freedom and also have a healthy, well-balanced life? What if you could secure the big bag, build a business that fuels you versus drains you, as well as build a solid network of business besties who want to support and motivate you while also centering self? This summit is the premier destination for the latest marketing, sales, and AI tools that can 10x your business while also nurturing your well-being. Learn from top experts from both business and wellness, including executives from the corporate sector, so that you can explore corporate-level opportunities that can elevate your business to new heights. Ensuring you're not just prepared, but fully equipped to dominate in 2025 and beyond. This is your opportunity for your business to thrive while you do too. Head over to securethebigbag.com to check out the agenda and all the heavy hitters that will be in the building. I cannot wait to see you in New York City, mi gente. It's go time. Exciting news, mi gente. We just hit 70,000 views over on YouTube, and that's all thanks to our amazing community. But we need more views. We need more impact. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like the videos. Make sure to leave all the comments and all the things, and share Banking on Cultura with a friend. It really, really matters. Help us grow so we can impact even more of the community. Appreciate you so much, mi gente. So a gap, I saw something that didn't exist, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna create it. If it doesn't exist, I'm gonna create it. I learned that not everybody was on the same page. Within hours of that announcement, our social media was deleted just because this one person decided they no longer wanted to be a part of the vision. Sometimes it's difficult to make the decision to walk away from something, especially if it was your baby. The goal is still the same, right? Create spaces for women to collaborate, to make money, and to be themselves. And most critical elements that you need to be a successful entrepreneur is community. Is this a therapy session for myself? Guys, this is live. What's up, mi gente? It is your esteemed host, Victoria Jenn Rodriguez, here on Banking on Cultura, coming to you live with another solo episode because I had to do a solo. It's Hispanic Heritage Month, and honey, we must. And I'm really excited to be here with you guys to share today's topic because I got some tea. I got some bochinche. Make sure you grab your glass of wine if you're in the tub. Make sure you just tune in, glued in if you're at the gym, whatever, because I'm going to be sharing some behind the scenes that I haven't ever shared before because I think it's important. And you guys know I like to keep it transparent. I like to keep it all the way real because I believe that that's how we learn. And that's how you guys are going to grow. And hopefully, as a result of me going through these experiences, you're either inspired or it prevents you from making a bad decision or it elevates you, whatever it is. I am here to serve and I am here to give you the real game. All right, we're not going to sugarcoat things. We're going to keep it all the way a buck because we got enough of the fluffy stuff. Okay, so let's get into the tea. So a lot of you may not know this, but I started a nonprofit a couple of years ago called the Female Collaborative. And I actually started it, I think it was about like 2 years into my business journey. And I started it because I was tired of seeing women not collaborating. And not only were they not collaborating, they didn't know how to collaborate. And so I wanted to start an organization that really taught women how to collaborate and also exemplified how women can collaborate, especially women of color. And so the Female Collaborative was born. And it actually started as an event. I decided I wanted to host an event called the Women Who Roar Summit. I invited some ladies that I met on Instagram to join me in this effort. You know, on Instagram, you feel like, you know people and you want to build and you want to create magic with people. And so that's exactly what I did. I saw a gap. I saw something that didn't exist. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to create it. If it doesn't exist, I'm going to create it. And so I invited these women to join me on this project to create this experience where we would show women how to collaborate, where we would bring women together, we would build their confidence. We called it the Women Who Roar Summit. And as we were in the process of building out that summit, I realized that I wanted to turn this into an organization. We were receiving so much great feedback. Women were yearning for an authentic space where they could take off the mask, truly be themselves, and just show up in the world as their most unedited selves. And we wanted to create this space for women. And so we busted our ass, worked really, really hard, and the Women Who Roar Summit was executed within 2 months. And within 2 months, we had over 100 women in the building, and it was a beautiful experience. It was incredible to see the fruits of our labor come to fruition. But there were a couple of things that happened during that time that taught me a lot about collaborations and taught me a lot about my approach to collaborations and taught me a lot about how to assess a team and how to really identify if you're going to work well with someone or not. And we all need to experience those things. We all need those learnings to become more self-aware and also understand how to work with the team where everyone is on the same page, everyone's working towards the same goal, everyone is putting in the same effort, and everyone understands the vision. And so during that time, I learned that not everybody was on the same page. And shortly after, in fact, the day after, we executed the Women Who Roar Summit, and the women were pouring in, giving us so much great feedback. And I was thinking about the following year and doing this again. One of our members decided to publicly announce that she no longer was a part of the effort. She no longer was a part of the Female Collaborative. She no longer was a part of what we were doing with the Women Who Roar Summit. And it was news to me because before that announcement, I thought we was good. I thought we was going to plan for another year. Now, myself and this person, who will remain nameless, we had tension because both of us had strong attitudes in terms of our approach to work. Both of us had very strong personas. Both of us were very much leaders. And we clashed a lot because our leadership style didn't work too well together. And that was something that we worked through while the execution of the Women Who Roar Summit was happening. And by the end of, not by the end, but leading up to the summit, there were a lot of uncomfortable conversations that were had. And we had agreed that we were going to disagree and we were going to execute this event and we were going to move on. So that was my mindset going into the event. We got this. We're a team. Let's go. We did it. We sold this thing out in 2 months. Like, we should be proud of ourselves. And literally the next day, homegirl went on social media and said that she was no longer a part of this thing. Literally the day after the event, didn't inform the rest of the team that she was going to do that. Or maybe she did. I mean, they act surprised. I was most certainly surprised. And what really put the cherry on top was within hours of that announcement, our social media was deleted. Now, that could have been a coincidence. But the only people who had access to that social media account was myself and the rest of the team. So isn't it ironic that within hours, the next day of the event, within hours of her making this announcement, our social media gets deleted? So I'm livid, okay? I'm livid because remember, guys, I had a vision for this thing. Like, I wanted to have a membership a part of this thing. Like, I was bought in. Like, this was my baby. The Female Collaborative, we were going to the top. And I was really, really pissed off. I made a promise to myself then that I wasn't going to allow that to stop us, right? I wasn't going to allow that to stop the impact that we wanted to have on the community. And I wasn't going to allow this to stop all the amazing work that we just did. And all the amazing work that went into this project. I wasn't going to let it fail just because this one person decided they no longer wanted to be a part of the vision. And unfortunately, when that happens, nobody likes when the family feuds, right? And unfortunately, it created this energy amongst the team where now it was like her or me. It was kind of like positioned that way. I didn't force them to make a decision. I think that energy was coming from the other side, but it was definitely felt. It was definitely felt, and it caused the team, in my opinion, to choose sides and almost deteriorate. So I was then in a position where I was like, all right, well, if that's how you guys want to approach this, cool. I'm going to maintain ownership of the Female Collaborative, and I'm going to continue to grow this baby. And that's exactly what I did. We went on for several years to execute the Women Who Roar Summit. I brought on a whole board. We had an advisory board. We had corporate partners. We had members. So my vision came to life. Everything that I wanted to do came to life. But it taught me a lot about collaboration, and it taught me a lot about what would be my approach going forward. So fast forward a couple of years in, we've got crazy momentum. We have this amazing community of supporters, amazing community of women who show up and show out for themselves, for the organization. We had donors. We were really operating this bad boy like a real entity, which it was. We were getting grants. We were fundraising. We were having board meetings. We were taking board minutes, like all the things. A real 501c3 nonprofit we were running. And then we got to the pandemic and things changed. So I managed to build an incredible team. And unfortunately, during the pandemic, there was just so much going on and so much pressure on my shoulders. And I essentially was acting as the executive director of this organization. And I was like, this is not the vision. The vision wasn't for me to be an executive director of my own nonprofit. That was not the vision. The vision was for me to build this bad boy, raise enough money to hire an executive director to run the organization. And I was just going to be the chair of the board. That was really the vision, but it wasn't going in that direction. And the pandemic definitely slowed that down a bit. And it became extremely overwhelming. And I had to make a very difficult decision. And the decision was that I was going to take a step back from growing the Female Collaborative at the rate that we were growing, because I wanted to focus on other revenue generating activities. The Female Collaborative wasn't really, we were making money, but it was being reinvested back into the organization. And I needed to shift priorities. My business was suffering as a result. My clients weren't getting the most out of me because I was putting so much attention on the Female Collaborative. And so I had to make the difficult decision of letting the team know, like, hey, unless one of you want to step up as the executive director and take this bad boy to the next level, I'm going to stop this. And it was really hard. It was really hard because all of us were invested. All of us loved the Female Collaborative. All of us loved what we built. And all of us were really excited about the future for the Female Collaborative. But I no longer could be the leader that they needed me to be in that capacity. And I needed to choose me. I needed to choose me in that moment, which was another big lesson with collaborations. Sometimes it's difficult to make the decision to walk away from something, especially if it was your baby, and especially if you put so much sweat and tears and energy into that bad boy. It's hard to let go. And also because you have these partners that are on the journey with you, and now you're dipping, like you gotta choose you. And it was really, really difficult. And for a long time, it really weighed me down. For a long time, it made me feel like, am I making the right decision? Is this smart? Like, we built this incredible community behind the Female Collaborative. Does it make sense for me to stop this now? And I really questioned myself a lot during that time and thought about what would come of this. And if I was going to be able to essentially recover, right? Recover from this. Because to be honest, guys, I was very much still carrying the hurt that came from the first disruption of the team when the TFC was originally born. Like, that really hurt me. That experience really, really hurt me because I thought, we were sisters, and I thought that, yeah, we tussled a little bit, but so what? We move on. We continue to build. Like, the vision is bigger than us. But that wasn't the case. So I was still carrying that. Then to have all this responsibility on my shoulders with this organization, be the leader, have to show up for people in a way that required so much of me during a time where the world was literally melting around me. And I'm an extrovert, so I could no longer go outside. I was no longer getting the energy to fuel me. I was no longer able to hit the reset button because I was stuck in my house. And mentally and emotionally, I just couldn't do it anymore. So I had to be honest with myself, and it was a difficult decision, but that's what happened. So for those of you who have been around since the beginning of the Female Collaborative, and you were wondering, well, why'd you guys slow down? Like, there was so much activity. That's why. That is why. So essentially what the Female Collaborative has become, because we still exist, we dissolved the membership. So we no longer have a membership in the Female Collaborative. We still have a very amazing community that supports us, however. But now we run an annual event. And that annual event has graduated to the Secure the Big Bag and Wellness Summit. And we're about to have our 7th one. So I've been doing this annual women's event, guys, for 7 years. The branding has shifted, but the goal is still the same. Right? Create spaces for women to collaborate, to make money, and to be themselves.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Ooh, this is really good. You should know about this. So I don't know about you, but I've been known to procrastinate, especially when things scare the hell out of me. The fear alone would have me stuck, overwhelmed, confused, and all types of self-doubt. And don't even get me started on the imposter syndrome. Okay. After getting laid off, not once, but 3 times, honey, I realized that the security blanket that I made up in my head was just an excuse because I didn't really want to bet on myself. The corporate benefits that had me in that headlock, girl, they went out the window once my job decided that they no longer needed me.
Turns out that I'll save a whole nickel if I cut your salary completely.
The truth is, the only security blanket guarantee is the one that you create for yourself. In other words, until you start a business, you will always be at the mercy of a company's headcount, and you will never have complete control over your time, which means you'll be renting out your thought leadership and helping build someone else's dream instead of your own. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Don't you think it's time you stop playing small and tap all the way into your power, sis? Check out www.victoriajen.com/training to learn my 3-step process, the exact 3 steps that I took to make the transition from corporate to entrepreneurship. And this is helpful even if you don't know what type of business to start and have only one source of income. And this is absolutely free. It is my gift to you. I want you to win. It's winning season. In fact, what's that? It smells like winning season. Okay, so tap in and I'll see you inside the training. Let's go. The vision has never shifted from that. And I'm really excited about where the organization has graduated to, and really thankful for all of our sponsors and partners that supported us through all of these transitional phases and to where we are now, where we are solely just hosting this annual event. I'm really also thankful for you guys for continuing on my journey and supporting everything that I do and going through the roller coaster, being on the roller coaster with me, and showing me that even if you have to make pivots, it's okay. You'll come back as long as you put in the work, as long as you continue to show up for your people, they will continue to show up for you. So excited about the 7th annual Secure the Big Bag and Wellness Summit, which is happening November 15th and 16th in New York City. I'm really looking forward to this one because, first of all, the space is absolutely stunning, honey. Absolutely stunning. It is a penthouse, 360 views of New York City, in the heart of New York City. And it's going to create just the energy and vibe that we want to come with this experience. And adding the wellness component to it was really important to me because like the example that I gave you of having to make those difficult decisions with partners, with collaborators that I believe we were on the same page, but we weren't on the same page, or I possibly let down because I just couldn't handle the pressure anymore. That took a toll, right, on my mental health. And entrepreneurs, thought leaders, business owners, people who are ambitious, have this influence, inevitably are going to have some mental health challenges, and we need to have the tools and resources available for us to approach this in a way where we don't neglect our mental well-being, our health, and our emotional well-being, right? We can still secure the big bag and also nurture our well-being. And the how is what we're going to show you at the summit. So I have some of my amazing business besties coming through, teaching you the latest and greatest on marketing, sales, the latest AI tools, so that you can really dominate come 2025. I also have executives that are coming through the building that are anxious to meet you, honey, and that can write you some checks, okay? You guys know I'm all about helping women secure 5- and 6-figure contracts. And for the fellas that are listening, listen, we welcome our male allies, so don't be shy. If you want to come through, go to securethebigbag.com. That's where you can purchase tickets. We actually have our early bird sale going on right now. So make sure to get in there if you want to save some coins, because the price will be going up. Not only is it going to be a combination of strategy, like tangible strategy that you could actually implement immediately live at the summit. So make sure you bring your laptops, honey, because this is going to be like a mastermind event, like a huge mastermind event with 150 people where we're all glued in, right? We're all on the same page. We want to nurture our well-being. We want to be healthy. We want to be happy. We want to be at peace, right? We want to have solace, right? We want to find our solace, some of us. And we also want to have a fat ass bank account. So literally that same mindset is going to be in the room, and it is so powerful to be in these type of rooms, y'all. I cannot tell you how important it is for you to be in rooms where you can not only learn and feed off of other people's energy and be inspired by other people's wins, but where you can all be in this think tank together, sharing ideas, sharing plays, encouraging each other, scheduling follow-ups, right? Keeping yourself accountable to the promises that you made yourself. Like, it is so significant. I've been a full-time entrepreneur now for 7 years. And one of the most paramount and most critical elements that you need to be a successful entrepreneur is community. You need to find your tribe. You need to be in the rooms where deals are happening. You need to be in the rooms where magic is being exchanged. You need to be in the rooms where people are giving you the formula of every step that you need to take in order to reach a goal. You need that, because if you don't have that, you're going to get stressed and you're going to feel like the things that you're experiencing are only happening to you. So you're going to feel super alone. You're going to feel super alone, and you're going to feel like to give up. You're going to want to give up. You're going to feel like you want to give up because there's no one else in the trenches with you. And that's just not true. Okay. So many of us are in the trenches with you. So many of us are experiencing the same things that you're experiencing. And so it's important for you to see that in real time, in real life, so that you can be revitalized and so that you can feel like, okay, I got this. Like, I got this. Like, I got my community. I have people that I can count on. I got people that I can call. If I need to make a quick 5,000, I got people that I can call, which is crazy to know that I literally can make a phone call and be like, hey, I need to make a quick 5,000, and my business besties will put me in front of their community and I will make $5,000. Like, how crazy is that? Or I can get an advisement from someone in my network and be like, hey, I need to make $5,000. They're going to literally break down the play of what I need to do to make $5,000. And guess what? I'm going to make the $5,000. And that has been just mind-boggling to me and just really solidified how important it is for you to get in the room, how important it is for you to shake hands, how important it is for you to cultivate your relationships, how important it is for you to actually make sure that you are giving yourself the opportunity to win. That you are giving yourself the opportunity to win. Because you standing in your own way, honey, you are blocking your own blessings. You not making the money you need to make, it is because of you. And that is the hard truth. Okay? And a shift is not going to happen in your mindset, in your bank account, in your behavior, if you do not do something different, right? If you don't show up differently, or if you don't commit, if you don't decide that, you know what, this is the year that I'm going in. This is the year that the shift is going to happen. This is the year. And that's where I'm at. I feel really good about 2025, and I feel really excited about what the future holds because of this community that I have not only created, but that I'm a part of, right? I'm a part of other communities. Just this past weekend, and I'm going in a couple of different directions with this episode because God is speaking through me right now. So just follow along. Just follow along. This past weekend, I was in Atlanta. I was invited by my girl, Dr. Sonia Lewis, who is going to be at the summit, who is a badass multimillionaire. She's younger than me. I think she's 37. I'm 41. And she's a multimillionaire. And I got to see a behind the scenes of how she runs her business, of how her sales model, of how she grows community, of how she's thinking about scaling. And we literally were there just ideating together, brainstorming together, just like in each other's business, literally, and giving each other plays of how we can grow, of how we can get better, and holding each other accountable to those things. And I was able to not only do that, but she also allowed me to meet her amazing community. So now I am engraved in her community, and she has built such an amazing, supportive, down-ass community that it inspired me. And as soon as I got back, I was like, oh, I'm hosting a brunch for my community. That's it. I reached out to all my students inside the Dare to Leap Academy, and I said, we're going to brunch. Let's go. We're planning this. I need to see you guys. I need to hug you guys, because community, y'all, is the way. Seriously. Community is the way. I've seen it. I've seen it live in action, and I've seen what happens when you invest in other people and when you invest in building with other people. It changes you. It makes you a better leader. It challenges you. It forces you to think about what's important to you and what is it that you really want. There were so many times that, Sonia asked me, well, why do you want those things? Why are those things important to you? What do you want your legacy to be? And why? Why do you want that to be your legacy? And having those conversations in a space where you feel safe, and in a space where you can be vulnerable, and in a space where you feel like this is someone you respect, right? This is someone you respect. They've achieved a certain amount of things. They have accolades, right? It's magical. It's magical. So not only did I go to Atlanta, got to get the behind the scenes with her, got to meet her amazing community, got to teach her amazing community, but I also got to attend my first polo classic, which I don't know if you guys ever been to that, but it is a vibe. You wear something called a fascinator, which I've never worn. It's kind of like those cute flower hats. I was looking to Vine, honey. Check the social medias, okay? And you'll see me on there. But I got to experience that for the first time. It was a beautiful event, gorgeous representation of Black excellence. I believe I was the only Latina in the building, and I was proud to be there and support my Black brothers and sisters and experience this, right? Because now that I've experienced a polo classic, I feel like I'm now on a different level now. I've graduated to another level. I can say, yes, I've been to a polo classic. I know exactly what goes down at a polo classic. I know what to wear. Yes, I know how to rock a fascinator. I know the fits. I know the vibe and I know the energy, right? Experiencing something that I've never experienced before. And yes, I went up to people. I introduced myself to people. In fact, I knew a couple of people there, which was really cool, which is another reason why it's so important for you to go outside, because you want to see people often. You want to stay top of mind. That's how you stay top of mind. They need to see you, not just on social media. They need to see you like in real life outside. So that was really amazing and something that I am very thankful to experience. I always love visiting Hot Atlanta and hanging out there. So in summary, because I went a couple of different directions here, and thank you for sticking it out with me. But this was heavy on my heart. I was actually thinking about this last week. I was like, I want to do a solo episode. I want to tell the story of TSC. I want to talk about the evolution. I want to talk about where I didn't show up 1,000%. I want to talk about what I learned about partnerships. I want to talk about how I had to pivot multiple ways and what that experience was like, and to where we have graduated to today. And I wanted to talk to you guys about the summit. One of the things I'm nervous about the summit, y'all, I'm gonna keep it real. This is a full transparency episode, okay? You're getting all the tea because I'm gonna tell you what also inspired this. So like 2 days ago, one of my amazing hermanas reached out to me. We were having a conversation and she was like, hey, can I give you some feedback? And I was like, yeah, sure. I always welcome feedback. She was like, I see you on social media and I love the branding. Like, I love Victoria Jenn, the brand, and I love what you're doing, but I just feel like I connect with you when I hear more vulnerability, when I see more of the authentic you, when I see you being you. I've been able to hang out with you one-on-one, and I want people to see more of that side of you. And it really got me a little stuck, y'all, because I'm like, I do believe I'm being authentic and vulnerable on my social media. And that's like a challenge for me because I want to be mindful of how people can use your vulnerability as a weapon. I've seen it so many times. And so when I speak about things, I want to make sure I'm ready, and I want to make sure that it makes sense. And I want to make sure that it's going to resonate and land with people because I am building a brand. Right? So I do have to be mindful of all of these things. Is this a therapy session for myself? Guys, this is live right now. This is how I go through. This is my form of therapy. I can't even lie. Is sharing with you guys. This is my form of therapy. So if you appreciate this, definitely make sure to leave comments and let me know. Because I've been going back and forth a lot about how much I share, when I share, what I share. And so receiving that text from her reminded me of like, okay, let me do better in that part, because I do want you to know that I am you, and what you experience, I'm pretty sure I have experienced, and what you may be seeing on social media, even though I do talk about, like, I have story times on social media and I talk about stuff that isn't going well. Perhaps I need to talk more about that stuff. So I took the feedback. I always welcome feedback. And it really has been on my heart, which is probably why I'm going in so many directions on this episode, because I am living through what I've been digesting with wanting to share the story behind TFC, leading up to this summit, and how much pressure I'm under putting together this summit. But it's like good pressure. It's overwhelming, but it's exciting at the same time. I just want to make sure you guys show up. That is like the biggest part of this whole thing. I will make sure to deliver. I will have the right people in the room, the right conversations, the right strategy to get you paid, to make you feel good, and to have you come alive in this Q4 going into 2025 and beyond. I will do that. I am committing to delivering on that. I need you guys to meet me in the middle and make sure you're in the room. And getting people in the room, I would say, is the hardest part, because folks want to wait until last minute Folks want to kiki, they want to drag it out, and you have all these expenses for the event that you have to pay. And so ticket sales matter. So this event planning thing is a lot, even though I've been doing it for 7 years. And let me know in the comments if you want me to do an episode that specifically talks about event planning and just how I go about it and how I raise money and all the things. I will gladly do that. I did an episode similar to this last year, but there have been plenty of learnings since last year, because since last year, I've done several events. So I'm happy to share that with you guys if you want to hear it, but I need to know. So put it in the comments. So what can you expect going forward? Let's wrap this up, Victoria. So what can you expect going forward? You can expect an amazing summit. So make sure to grab your seat at Secure the Big Bag. It's taking place November 15th through the 16th in New York City. Make it a bestie weekend. We're hosting it at the Radio Hotel, gorgeous penthouse, 360 views of New York City. We have a discount code for the hotel. So make it a weekend. Bring your girlfriends out. Stay the weekend in New York City. All that information is on the website. The concierge page has a discount code, all the things, everything that you need is there. Get in the room, shake the hands. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And also what you can expect from me is, I guess, more vulnerability. God is telling me that it's time. So I guess I'll be spilling a lot more tea and a lot more insider info coming up. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed and make sure you're on our newsletter and like all the things. Stay connected with me. And then lastly, you can expect to see me continue to build my dreams in real time and just keep going. Just keep going. Even when things are not going my way, they're not going according to plan. That's what you can expect from me. And I'll be sharing that with you along the journey. So I think that's all for today's episode. I want to thank you so much for being here. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month again. Maybe I need to do an episode on what I'm seeing during Hispanic Heritage Month, because I can't even front y'all. I'm disappointed with what I'm seeing, with the lack of support from brands, with corporate America and what they're doing or not doing as it relates to Hispanic Heritage Month. I'm just not feeling it. I'm very disappointed. But we will not allow that to deter us from celebrating our cultura. We are a beautiful community. We are a powerful community. 3.4 trillion buying power. We are the largest consumer of online content. We are the largest purchasers of online products. We are the third largest economy in the world. We are the future. We are the youngest demographic in the world. We have incredible influence in what happens in this country, and we need to own that. And we need to continue to tell our stories, and we need to educate people. Don't tell them go read a book because they're not. No, if you have them in that moment, put them on and really own your cultura, because you are magical and you are badass and you are powerful and you are destined for greatness, and you come from a lineage of resiliency, of go-getters, of people making something out of nothing. And lean on that. Lean on that so that when you show up in the world, you are more confident in your own skin and you are deliberate about your legacy, and you are driven by the sacrifices that so many people have made to get you exactly where you are today. So now it's off to you, and it is on you to bring our generation forward and our community forward. And I will do my part in making sure that I provide you with resources and tools and a place and a home where you can see yourself, where you can believe more in yourself, and where you can hear our stories so that you do know, in fact, that you are not alone. So thank you so much again for joining me, and I'll see you in the next episode, guys. Ciao! Mi gente, did you enjoy this episode? Are you loving Banking on Cultura? Make sure to subscribe and follow us. Our goal is to grow this community so that we can all embrace our Latinidad, secure the big bag, and never question our cultura ever again. Please also take a moment to leave us a review. I love reading your reviews. Let me know what you are thinking, what guests we should have on, and if there are any topics you would like me to cover. I appreciate you so much for being here. Te amo mucho, and I'll check you out in the next episode.